They always warned us about the gully down by the edge of the fields. My grandmother would hush her voice when dusk came, locking each window with trembling hands. No one went near the gully after dark, not even the old men who swore nothing scared them. They called it the Gully Creep. Some said it used to be a man, long since swallowed by the earth and spat back, out-twisted, grey-skinned, something that never belonged among the living. For most of my life, I told myself those were stories meant to scare children. But something changed that autumn. It started with the cattle. Deep gashes on the sides of their bodies as if claws had reached through the night. Next came the shredded fences, the footprints, long, twisted impressions, dug deep into the mud, then vanishing at the gully's edge. Each morning, the village grew quieter, fear tightening around our throats. One night, I heard it for myself, a roaring, long, guttural, deep enough to rattle the panes of glass in their frames. It came from above, from the very top of the church, echoing over every house. People closed their eyes and tried not to listen. That was the night old Illy disappeared. They found him by morning, sprawled beneath the willow behind his house. His mouth was open in a silent scream, eyes wide and glassy, skin cold and torn. None of us slept after that. I started to notice other things, the way my breath clouded in the air, even when the night was warm. The growing silence as dusk drew near. Even the crows, frightened into leaving us alone. If you stepped outside in those hours, you'd feel it, a heavy gaze somewhere between hunger and hate. One evening, my friend Mircea went missing. He told me he'd heard something scratching just beyond the garden wall. He wanted to prove to everyone it was just a fox. He leaned his flashlight over the stone, the yellow glow trembling. He never saw what reached up and pulled him over. I ran when I heard him scream. Ran until my lungs burned. Behind me, I heard the creep's heavy breaths, the sound of bones scraping stone. I saw him, grey, rotten, his limbs too long, crawling out from the blackness of the gully. His eyes, they glowed with a cold, wet hunger. I got home, slammed the doors, locked every bolt. Still, the sound of scrabbling fingers echoed outside my window. A shadow passed along the wall, slow, dragging, as if savoring the terror inside. The next morning, Mircea's shoe was found in the field, torn and stained. There was no sign of him, or the thing that hunted him. Since then, every night, the village becomes a tomb. Shutters drawn, lights low, not a soul on the streets. Sometimes I wake and hear it above me, on the church roof, roaring into the clouds. Sometimes I catch movement through the garden, long fingers stirring the weeds as it passes by. It never leaves tracks until it chooses to be found. People say if you see its face and survive, you'll never sleep peacefully again. You'll remember the eyes, wet and shining in the dark, and the way its mouth splits into that impossible, bloodless grin. Now we wait, all of us. We pray our doors are strong enough. We pray our names are not on its list tonight. Because the Gully Creep is always hungry, and it knows every path that leads home.